With Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and let's talk about BioTrainers, the no braces, no aligners option for moving teeth. And there's nothing new with BioTrainers. They've been around for half a century, 60 years, 70 years. I mean, they were invented by Dr. Bergerson in the mid 20th century, and I've met him before. And he's amazing. And BioTrainers do work, but you have to start very, very young to get on a harder case, to get a decent outcome. And remember, these BioTrainers are semi-custom. They're not custom. There's no guarantees on any of this. Have I seen cases completely work out and not need braces? Yeah, my son was one of them. It does work if you start really, really early, but starting really, really early for the best results. And this is just coming from, there's probably companies that make these, and there's a lot of venture capitalists getting into this right now. So I'm being very cautious about what I say. And I'm going to keep saying, this is my clinical opinion. I've been doing these for almost a decade. I've done many cases, but I've seen so many more, probably hundreds to close to 1,000 on the various brands that are out there and the last decade that I've been consulting. And I'm pretty blown away with what can happen if you have everything right. The right patient, the right parent, the right doctor, and the right compliance and the right case. So everything has to line up. And it's honestly, the kids that do best at this are the homeschool kids. I've never had success with with a kid that goes to school with these, because the amount you actually have to wear them, chew on them to actually have it work, you can't. It's impossible. So homeschool kids do great. That's all I got to say. And neurodivergent kids, because they love kind of gumming and chewing on things. And I am neurodivergent. And I have plenty of neurodivergent people on the spectrum in my family. So I can say this honestly. I've done it with neurodivergent patients. I've seen it with plenty of neurodivergent patients. They're just great. Homeschool neurodivergent kid. That's who I'd give it to. And they'll do great. Will they get as perfect as an Invisalign case? Probably not. But they'll get decent. And you can always finish it in Invisalign later and just cut out a lot of and no need braces and cut out just a lot of drama. So, but the question is, if you're looking for perfect, and or if you're billing insurance, okay? If you're billing insurance, you guys, cautious, because you're expected to have a certain level of outcome, or people can complain to the insurance. So I like to do these as cash, one at a time, just pay as you go, no big promises. We can switch anytime to Invisalign or braces, or expanders or whatever, whatever's needed. And I like to be fluid. I have a lot of content on BioTrainers. I'm not saying anything disparaging about them. I think they're fantastic. Just how I choose to use them, it works. I can make the suckers work if I have everything right. You can't do this on a patient that isn't willing to wear them. It's just compliance. And you're going to have way better success if it's a tiny patient, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because they want to wear them. Older kids don't. They can't talk. They can't game. And that was the biggest issue. I mean, I'll be honest, this is what happened. Yes, we managed to do it on my son. But it was freaking struggle drama. Would I do it again? No. No, unless it was a patient that really wanted to do it. And you can get any kid to get excited about it for a week, a month, but they're not going to be excited after a couple of months usually. I mean, the boys that are the kids that are the right person for this, they're the kind of gamer kids. They're not the kids that are out playing sports and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean to pigeonhole, but that's just how it is. These are the kids that will be successful in this, and it's fantastic. But when they start getting into the gaming mode, then they can't wear these appliances, and then it doesn't work. So it works when they solo game, but if they're gaming and talking, which is kind of a new thing, which is why it worked really well 10 years ago, and it doesn't work as well now, because all the games are generally social. So, but yeah, I mean, if you really want a perfect outcome, you need to switch to regular orthodontics if you want a guarantee, because I mean, there's no guarantees with these, but not disparaging it at all. I'm just gonna keep saying that. If any of these VC people are trying to sue me, not disparaging at all. It's out there. So it does work. It's a great thing. And to be honest, there are countries where people have used these on their Medicaid cases, because I read some of the studies. I think they were done, Norway, Finland. I mean, it was a couple decades ago, but where they did them, and they had pretty good outcomes. And this is how you got your teeth straightened. If you didn't have money, this was what was given to you. Instead of the insurance did not pay, the government insurance did not pay for Invis, it did not pay for braces, it paid for this, which was great because it got rid of habits, it trained the tongue, it fixed the myo, and it helped the teeth and the bites get better if they started them when they were young. So, I mean, I think it's a fabulous thing. I think they should offer this to every family and every kid in the United States. They're not that expensive to make. So therefore, they shouldn't be that expensive to prescribe because they really are no work. You don't have to take scans. You don't have to do anything. They just wear them. You really can't do damage. And they only work if you wear them. So, and there's nothing to adjust. So I think it's fabulous. I think everyone should have access to these, but that's just my opinion. All right, thanks.